What's up, my friends? I know what you're all thinking. It is finally November 5th, the first Tuesday of the month. You know what that means in November, of certain 4-year periods anyway. It's exactly what you think. Bam! Here we are. Current election results. Naturally, Deep South states, all red. The rest, still deciding. It is 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. What is it? Yeah. It's 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time? Am I going the wrong way? I don't actually know. Am I doing an election live stream full of object shows and stuff? No. No. Unfortunately, it's just gonna be me talking the whole time. And I know what you're thinking. Jamil, why are you doing that? You're not a politician, why do you care? Well, I haven't really been... I don't think that I've been too transparent about this. But yeah, I kind of am, actually. I lost to this joker, but it is what it is. So, yeah, I ran for both parties, and they decided to keep me as red for some reason. Because who really... I wanted me to win the election, not him. But he's the one who's winning. Because he's the only one there. Because I got knocked out in the primary. Anyway. What does any of this have to do with this? Well, my friend, there's a lot. Okay, shut up. Yeah, that's my new song. I'm gonna make it my new anthem. It's gonna be awesome. Why are you lagging? We just started. But yeah, it should. I don't know what you guys think goes through my head, but I'll tell you, it's not any nonsense. There's a lot that actually does go through this thick little head of mine, and that's why I gotta make my case. I'm gonna make it on live and edit it down into a video later. You didn't know that I was a politician? Well, only in name. Literally, that's it. Alright, guys. Let me go ahead and do this, since it's kind of my job to be politically aware. This is I'm gonna go ahead and tell you why the vice president's got this thing down packed. And why this election is literally the worst in history. Alright, you guys know about this, blah 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 blah. Oakland, California, got political science and economics. She's got her law. She was a lawyer. I am gonna be that's my goal. I'm gonna be president someday, and I'm not gonna be one. I'm not gonna be like, ew, the other one. Nah, let me stop. See, a lot of people like to think that Trump supporters are not very intelligent, and I'm gonna tell you, that's not inherently true. There's no such thing as an intelligent person that's immune to delusion. But Kamala Harris, first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to her is that she is a trailblazer. Everybody knows that. She doesn't actually talk about this, but every single position she's ever gotten has been a first. Her gang violence prevention was amazing. She actually went into law to fight off sexual offenders because she promised a young girl that she would. She said that in an interview. And as a result, she focused a lot on violent crime. Now, during her time as a lawmaker, or as an enforcer of the law, my bad, she got almost 2,000 cases, misdemeanor and felony, for weed. This is something that they really pounded on her when she first started running, because like, oh, you jail people for weed, blah blah blah, because it was illegal, and she openly supported it. The thing about her is that even if the state law says one thing, if you know how to work your way around it, then you can make it not as relevant. Out of those almost 2,000 cases, only 45% of them actually went to prison. Most of them were immediately put on probation, given no jail time, not even in the felony cases. And that's the beauty. And that's the beauty of knowing how to work the system. Because if the state was given the power. Sorry, I had an interruption in the background.
I'll cut the internet off.
Because if the state was given the power, they would have all gone to jail. This was during the war on drugs, of course. Now, first African-American woman, and she did, in fact, play a pivotal role in defending same-sex marriage in California. We already know this. Establish a consumer protection unit, help consumers do life in a way that's more affordable. Is it serious? No, it's not serious. I'm just trying to make a contrast. I'm talking really slowly because I'm still kind of processing everything, how we got here. That was her time in the judicial branch, the law branch. Now, we're transitioning to the Senate, which is the legislative branch. She was elected in 2016. And since then, she continued having an overwhelmingly positive record, working for bills like the Affordable Care Act, initiatives to lower prescription drug prices, and enhance access to healthcare and education. You guys can see it. It's on the screen. Significant legislative reforms were a thing for her because she wanted a rehabilitative justice system. Our current justice system takes people and makes them legal slaves for the system, makes them do hard labor, and doesn't teach them anything except how to be punished. It's the equivalent of throwing your child in a corner. It's like, you understand that something is wrong, but if you stay in that corner for, let's say, a year, then you're not really going to know how to cope when you're out of that corner. There's a lot that goes into these things. I'm being vague. I'm trying to figure out if it's intentional or not. No, I guess I just don't really believe that I'm talking about this right now. But what can I say? There's nobody else talking, so I've got to do it. As a senator, she had two key committees, the Judiciary and the Intelligence Committee. Why? Because in her heart, she's still a lawyer. She wants to enforce the law. That's why intelligence, being able to see what is happening in the United States and prevent crime before it happens, is important. That's why you have to focus on equitable justice as well. The justice system has been a dicey topic for the longest, and people do have hope that it can be fixed. But there are a lot of people who don't want it to be fixed. For example, we all saw the response that George Floyd's protesters had to respond to when they went out on the streets. Trump brought the National Guard in to tear gas and rubber bullet them, to brutalize them, even. Obviously, I was active during that time as well, but I was still a teenager. a lot of people in my age group are teenagers. Were teenagers back then, and that's why a decent amount of them are also voting for Trump, because they think that things were better when they were children, which doesn't make sense. But I digress. In any case, Kamala Harris also helped the bills pass that banned no-knock warrants and chokeholds, enhancing safety for the citizens during police encounters, and of course, the accountability measures that helped us lower the number of police who got off after killing people. When I was a teenager, 99% of the police officers who murdered people were just let off. No punishment. Since then, that number's gone down to 95, maybe 97. Qualified immunity is hard to fight, but if you actually have people who are aware of it, hi guys, then it's important. You guys can't vote yet. You guys cannot vote yet, but when you can, it's important to actually know what you're voting for. That's why you gotta do your research. That's why I'm really making the video. Because in order to avoid situations like this, people need to actually know what the heck they're talking about. Significant achievements in women's health. Kamala Harris has always been a staunch supporter of the concept of abortion. I feel like most people don't really care that much, but it became a scapegoat for Republicans a long time ago. They brought it in as a concept that, even though it did not directly affect the government, nor did it have to do anything, nor did it have to do with anything that our government was actually playing in, they saw it as some kind of boogeyman that they could use to scare the Christian into voting for them. That's why, while one side has the goals of, socioeconomic equity, purging homelessness, increasing access to education and healthcare, you've got the other side that, for most of modern history, has only campaigned on abortion, and that's it. And since Roe v. Wade is now nixed, and because Donald Trump and every other Republican understands that abortion will only continue to hurt their chances of getting elected, now they're saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. It's okay. And now, this brings me to the current situation. Kamala Harris has always been a big supporter of the child tax credit expansion. Now, there was an expansion during Donald Trump's presidency that raised it from $1,000 to $2,000. That administration successfully passed a bill. This was posed by Democrats, of course. Same with the CARES Act and most other inherently positive bills, unfortunately. Let's see, when it comes to the federal government, Obama was fighting for a lot. Clinton was fighting for a lot. Joe Biden was fighting for a lot, but his political opponents, since they either had the Senate, the House, or both, and nowadays they have the Supreme Court, and have for a while, they block positive bills so they don't affect the American people, because they don't want that to hurt them when people realize Democrats are actually doing that work. The Democrats, for example, this year alone, they posed the largest, the most restrictive, the most inherently beneficial, and heck, the most conservative border bill in modern history, in over a decade even. Because they said, you guys have been complaining about immigration forever, so let's do something to fix it. They worked along with the House Speaker on the Republican side to make a bill. And what did Donald Trump do? He urged all of his MAGA people in Congress, no, my bad, in the Senate, to shut it down, and it lost 50 to 49, because if that border bill was passed, they could not run on the concept of immigration being a bad thing, because it would decrease immigration. See? But I digress. Nowadays, Kamala Harris is campaigning on a $6,000 child tax credit, for newborns, a continued $3,600 for children under 12, I believe, and then for children under 18, yes, then it's $3,000. So all of them above the current, which is $2,000, and that relief for tax crediting, giving people more money when they have more children, allows people to actually have better education as they get older. It's just a fact. More money means better opportunity. More money means more business. More business equals higher GDP. Higher GDP equals the entire land, whether it be a city, a town, a precinct, a district, or a state, being improved significantly. Money runs everything in America. And if we invest in the people, that's how we can get our economy back to where it is. The Green New Deal, this was signed during this administration. That's about to end in 3. Oh, buddy, if you didn't know I would cover politics, you've not been here that long, but that's okay. I'm pretty involved when I have to be. And now this thing's finally ending. I didn't want to do it earlier because I'm not trying to sway anybody to vote in one way. Now that everybody's already voted, I'm going to tell people who voted for nonsense why they were wrong. Alright, let me stop. He supported the transition to 100% renewable energy, which has not only created millions and millions of jobs in the clean energy sector, but also lowered the cost of clean energy and made the U.S. one of the most energy efficient countries in the world. It's pretty amazing, to be honest. And yes, of course, you know that the current administration with Kamala Harris, gotta say her name right, as the VP, brought us the American Rescue Plan, which got us out of COVID by significantly increasing the vaccine rollout. And of course, putting billions upon billions of dollars into the people, including $400 billion towards over 6 million small businesses, to allow people to get back on their feet. And funding for healthcare, because you know, and Republicans do not like Medicare or Medicaid for some reason. They've been trying to cut it copious times, even though the average age of a senator in America is 63. The average age for a congressman is 58. I don't understand why they want to cut it, since all of them are required to have that health care. But I guess they just don't want the Americans to have it too. Now, one thing about Biden and Harris is that they've had some of the most diverse cabinets in history. Unlike Donald Trump, who just filled his cabinets with his allies, his yes men, and even his children, who, like him, had no business being in politics. Xavier Barrera, and 50%, almost 50-50, but not quite, gender split. It's pretty amazing to see. The reason diversity is important is because our government should look like America. And that's not the only reason. It's because, like the military, adding diversity includes different ideals, different values, different concepts that overall can improve how a government or any organization functions in regards to not only helping people, but helping themselves. Funding for schools. The American Rescue Plan did provide $130 billion to K-12 schools, stayed in safe reopening post-pandemic. They did include funding for colleges serving low-income students. In fact, let me stop talking so fast, because this is important. The Biden administration has given the most money to HBCUs, that's historically black colleges, universities. The most money, that's $17 billion total. Well, it's rounding up, but still. Out of any administration to date. Biden and Harris have been the best at HBCUs. And that is actually very important because a lot of people that I know immediately default to HBCUs because they are affordable and they're well accredited. Even if they don't have the most money, even if they have a lot of scholarships, even if they have higher acceptance rates, HBCUs are a way out for a lot of people who lack the resources to go to some big shot university. I didn't go to one myself, but I did actually take a class from one. It was a cybersecurity course. Pretty cool. But I digress. Kamala Harris has, in fact, helped stop the Dreamers, that's legal refugees, from being deported, because you know how people feel about that. And she wants to create a path for citizenship that is not tedious, that does not last 3 years to a decade, that does not require you knowing a million things that the average American does not know. That's reasonable. Not only did Kamala Harris back that huge immigration reform, not that huge immigration border bill, not only does she actively state that legal immigration is a priority, that we need to have consequences for those who cross the border illegally, but she wants to help them get in the legal way, because as it stands, the United States has one of the strictest policies out there. And it is ridiculous, since immigration is literally what we're made on. It is the reason the United States even exists. If we lost every single immigrant in Texas right now, and I'm talking undocumented, we would lose a total of $200 billion in property and income taxes. Don't worry, Moogie, you're not the only one who has no idea what's going on. I don't think anybody who watches this at any point is ever going to have an idea what is going on. Okay? I truly and honestly believe that nobody's going to know what any of this is saying. I am really underestimating the intelligence of children. Anyway, $200 billion, that's enough to house every single American for almost 2 years. And that's how much we'd lose if we lost every undocumented immigrant in Texas alone. Not only do undocumented immigrants commit crime at 33% lower rate than Native Americans, Americans that are native to the United States, not actually... God dang it, Jamil. I'm going insane, I swear. Well, every American was an immigrant at some point, but not anymore. I know I was born here, and I know I did not have to know any of the branches to be born here, because I was a newborn. I didn't know anything except how to suckle. But I digress. Kamala Harris has been across the world advocating for global peace, for diplomacy. Not just to Latin America, not just to Africa, also to Asia, and she has gone and given partnerships and initiatives to other countries, not in secret. I say not in secret because we now know that Donald Trump, during his presidency, when we were having a shortage of needles, sent millions of them to Russia. Without notifying anyone. So, kind of stinks, not gonna lie. Small businesses, I already said this. $400 billion to over 6 million small businesses. That was part of the American Rescue Plan. I don't even need to talk about that. As for strengthening gun control, it is just... You can't really say anything for this because common sense is a worldwide thing. We are literally the only country to not, at the very least, have common sense gun laws. People always like to say, it's not the guns, look at Switzerland, they have plenty of guns. Their entire culture revolves around, not their entire culture, but a good chunk of their culture revolves around weapons. That is why when people are old enough to purchase them, not only do they have to have that background check, not only do they have to have that license, but they have to be trained formally before they can even purchase a weapon. That is what common sense gun law is, making sure that people who are not mentally fit to hold weapons cannot get their hands on them. And that is why everyone supports it. At least we should, especially in the school shooting generation, but not everybody has common sense. As for voting rights, yes, she does support gerrymandering. She's introduced measures in the past. Unfortunately, they didn't pass because partisanship is the bane of everyone's existence. We would be a much better country if we didn't have it. But not to say we didn't have partisanship, just to say that we didn't have a two-party system. I wouldn't say that we need to be an oligarchy, but I definitely would say that we should have more cohesion in general. That we should have more parties in general. A more reasonable mix of beliefs and identities that we can all come together for. What the heck? Nah, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. Guys? Why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell me this was happening? Why didn't you tell me that my PowerPoint wasn't moving? I have gone through 18 slides and nothing has gone in. Have I really been on the first slide the whole time? Oh my god. I've been flipping through this thing the entire time. I'm kidding. I am so sad. I am so sad right now, I'm not gonna lie. Where was I? Gun control? Yeah. I'm kidding, by the way. I'm not blaming you guys for anything. She does support the concept of curbing gerrymandering and allowing same-day voter registration and mandated automatic voting registration. That way we don't have to have deadlines that restrict people from being able to vote. Because it's ridiculous to even have such a concept in the first place. This thing. I put it in screenshot mode. Am I not able to just display it fully? I guess not. In conclusion, I'm gonna be sad if Duck is elected, but why? Ducks are so nice. Every single position she's gotten has been a first. Her impact on justice reform was amazing. A maximum of a 30% decrease on violent crime is the best you're gonna see in America. Because America itself, our entire justice system, only has a 60% success rate. Yes, I'm telling you right now. And that's when it comes to violent crime, specifically homicide. That means in America, if you live in a middle class or wealthy area and you kill somebody, you're automatically 40% likely to come out without being caught. The FBI is on our phones all the time, hearing everything that we say, and we still have a 60% success rate when it comes to homicide. and a 40% overall. If you were wondering what it's not even a D, it's not a D minus, it's not even an F. It's an F minus. It's less than half. So justice reform is a big freaking thing in this country. It should not just be the people who look like me getting thrown in the prisons. Because the other half is out there committing crimes nobody knows. Contributions to healthcare, education, advocacy, it's amazing. There's a lot, okay? I could literally sit here and talk for years about this lady. You think I'm kidding, but I'm really not. I'm literally not. I could talk forever just about everything this lady's done, and don't even get me started on Walz, okay? I don't even want to talk about him. I don't want to talk about him at all. Because he made my state look bad, and I hate that. This man, he makes my state look crappy. The governor of Minnesota and our current vice president-elect. This man, with a 1-seat majority in the House, threw $2 billion into his state's education system, funding it for years. He got all the kids free meals. He got a 12-week paid leave. He got the Healthcare Access Fund, securing healthcare for over 1.5 million Minnesotans. He established reproductive freedom as a right in the state. He made it easier for everyone to vote. His governorship has led to historically low unemployment in Minnesota, which was already one of the happiest states in America to begin with. And now everybody's working, and he got a Police Accountability Act. He has been a politician for 12 years. 12. He's been in the Senate, and he's been the governor. That's it. He did so well in his senatorship, they promoted him to governor after 8 years. Meanwhile, all these other politicians have been in for 60, 40, 20 years, haven't done crap. He's got the clean energy bill. That's 100% clean energy by 2040. He's got the affordable insulin and opioid bill. Blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, his state is a blue state just like mine. He makes my state look bad. Actually, never mind. Nobody likes it here anyway. But I digress. This man coming in and making all this noise with his 12-year run in politics in general, and now he's the vice president-elect. I'm so angry because this is the person I need to catch up to. But he's 60, and I am just over a third of his age, so I have plenty of time to beat that record. What, that 5.7 million people in Minnesota? Fine, I'll help 6 million people by the time I'm 30. How about that? How about that, Walz? You hear me? You're not that big and bad. I've known about this guy since he was 16. It's pretty awful. I heard about him when I was in high school because of his amazing record. It's unprecedented. All these other phonies, these corporate pigs, these so-called Democrats over here, they're so invested in their wallets they can't do jack. One of our biggest black historical cities, the first black city in America, is only 30 minutes away from me. Illinois wants to let it die. They're not even funding the plan that our governor put in place to fund the schools in low-income areas. They're just letting those guys go uneducated. They're not throwing any money into the areas that actually need it, and if they are, they're not using it right, because our fiscal policy is literal crap. It is almost risky, among the worst in the United States, And we're not even a welfare state. We have the money to help people. We just don't do it. That's why I ran. There's nothing. Illinois has nothing. That's why people have been leaving this stupid state for 10 freaking years. Every single year, the population goes down because nobody wants to move here, okay? And that's the reason why. Not because of him. Not because of Joe Biden, but because our government is pig feces compared to that one guy whose only background is being a teacher and a coach. There are people in our government that actually care about us, and then there are Illinoisans. And the fact that people are taking those people that care about us and pitting them against, I'm going to get to him later. Doesn't even matter. The American Rescue Plan. Why is Joe Biden on my screen for so long? Or why has Joe Biden been on my screen for so long? It is because people like to rag on him for no reason. Concerning Gaza, he's completely useless. Completely useless. But I'm talking about in America. People really do, for some godforsaken reason, think that he has done nothing. They think that he has made our economy worse. When in reality, he came in during one of the worst periods in the American economy's history, during a whole friggin' pandemic with nearly 500,000 people dead. And he literally came in with his administration and made this American Rescue Plan that made us recover faster than the entire G7. The whole thing. Unemployment was at 6.1%. 6.1! And in 2 years, it was at 3.4. And that's not even hitting the record. People say Trump got the lowest unemployment. No, the heck he didn't. Okay? Hold on. He really liked to tout his unemployment as if people weren't going to work. People are going to work. They have to. They literally have to. But 3.4 is the lowest unemployment rate recorded in 55 years. Joe Biden, our little old president, the oldest president in history, had the lowest unemployment in 55 years. The strongest 2-year job growth ever. 12 million jobs. And a couple million of those were just oil. No, wait. Not a couple million. A couple 100,000. 200,000 jobs happened after the oil tariffs against Russia that rose our oil prices. Russia was fighting Ukraine, as you guys already know. And because of that, NATO, the UN as a whole decided, hey, Russia, screw you. Stop trying to be a colonizer. And they all stopped buying their oil, including us. So our oil prices went up because we were drilling our own oil. And that was 200,000 extra jobs. But it was also us having to pay $4 frickin' on gas. Meanwhile, we're here now, and the gas has gone down under $3, and that's fine and all, but people still like to complain that it was more than it used to be, which is also true. Gas has been going up in price for 60 years now? At some point at one point it was 25 cents a gallon. So I don't really know why people were surprised when it went up, especially after that oil tariffs, but I guess people don't really read that much. For some reason, people just thought that was something that happened here. No, that was Russia's fault. And the thing about it is that every single G7 country in the world was hurt by it. We were all hurt by it, but America was the one who recovered the fastest. 5.9% growth in our economy compared to Germany, France, the UK. And that was in the first year that he was in office, bro. People like to rag on Biden. He restored our reputation. Our own allies were laughing at us because of Trump. Our economic relations, our international relations were lower than ever before, but then he came in and said, "Hey guys, look at this. I'm gonna restore this economy so fast, and you guys are gonna suffer." People were complaining about our inflation being at a high of 5%. Meanwhile, Brazil's was 17% on a good day. Well, I'm kidding. Sometimes it would fluctuate. It's like 3 to 17%, but it was literally flipping day by day in many countries across the world. We were doing great, okay? It was the most equitable. It was the fastest. Oh my God, our recovery was amazing, and I was the only one who knew it. Here I am, a young adult trying to make his way in the world, and all I can hear is these older people saying, "Oh, our economy's so bad. This is the worst ever." Bro, we were literally in a pandemic a year ago. And all the other countries are literally dying. We are fine. We are fine. Statistically, we are on top. What is wrong with these people, man? I guess I'm just the only one who reads. Like, look at this. There was the least scarring in any recovery. There was less in the way. All these obstacles in the way of the recovery, they said, "Move! Get the heck out the way." The historically low unemployment and evictions, 20% below what they were expected to be. Yes, evictions were still pretty terrible because we were in an economic recession. But they kept it 20% below historical averages. 20! That means it was supposed to be 20% worse, according to history, according to the economists, but they somehow managed to kill it. They managed to kill it. Hey, Jazzy, what's up? I'm hyping up the current administration real quick. Lowered healthcare premiums by $800 for over 13 million Americans. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? These people are paying out of their pocket for healthcare $800 less, 13 million Americans. That's not actually that much compared to the 337 million Americans that are in America, but I guess 0.3% isn't nothing. I don't know why that's on there. That's 0.3%, but that's still a ridiculous amount. 13 million Americans? That's twice the population of Minnesota. Why is it on here twice? Okay. Most Americans in history having health insurance. I didn't know that. I thought that was the ACA, but never mind. Look at that. 1.5 billion in Medicaid funding to Missouri, Oklahoma, and South Dakota. Easier pathway to extend Medicaid parts. I actually do know that one. The small business recovery, disaster loan to 2 million. Like, the facts, man. They're all here. Do you guys really want me to read all this to you? Of course you don't. There are only 7 of you here. Why would you want this? None of you want this. The lowest child poverty rate in American history. The child poverty nearly cut in half to the lowest rate ever. Black child poverty cut by 52%, Hispanic child poverty cut by 43%. And for 2 years, Americans all over, all these news sites were saying, "Oh, these are the worst economy ever." The stats, the actual numbers don't lie, bro. Numbers do not lie. Ugh. I was in the military at this time, so I didn't really care. None of this affected me, but... Oh, man. Okay, if you guys want this data, then you can have this data. One of the largest federal investments in preventing crime, reducing violence, and investing in public safety in history. School districts across the nation to reopen. They finally had the chance to reopen because of this administration. 18 million college students received direct financial assistance and not including me, but still. First ever summer nutrition benefit for students with nationwide reach. Pension security for up to 3 million union workers and retirees. Do not play with me, man. Ugh. I'm sorry about that. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry, because that's crazy. People like to rag on this man a lot. Yes, he's useless when it comes to Gaza. When it comes to Gaza, when it comes to the Middle East in general being just genocided by Israel, you are useless. Go home. But when it comes to America, what's happening right here, I hope he knows he does. I hope he knows he did a good job. Americans, for some reason, just hate this person, even though he was the most productive president on paper in U.S. history. You guys think I'm lying? You guys think I'm lying? I hope you don't. If you do, then you can do your own research, but he was the most productive in U.S. history. And you can say, hey, that's just because of the pandemic. And that, yeah, you're right. It is just because of the pandemic. But he killed that. He friggin' killed it. And I'm glad he did, because now life is a little bit more normal. But now we're here, against this guy. Let me see. Alright. You guys know Donald James Trump. Person who was born to billionaire parents, who inherited a billionaire business, who has never known any struggle, who dodged the draft by going to college, and still only came out with a couple degrees, who got indicted twice, or impeached twice, got indicted 32 times. Actually, no, not indicted, that's convicted. Yes, who sexually assaulted several dozen women, who brags about it on the news, who peeped in on children during a pageant. Yeah, who bragged about peeping on children changing for a pageant. Do I have to say it again? Do I really have to say it again? But we're not talking about people here. We're talking about policy. We're talking about policy. Trump's first executive order, the travel ban. This is the first executive order that he made. A travel ban against several Muslim majority countries. And what's the problem with that? What's the problem with that? Civil rights organizations and the general public had widespread protests about it because he did not actually ban travel from any of the countries who had ever attacked the United States. He did that to countries that weren't involved in any terrorist attack on the United States, that were just existing in the Middle East. Literally. Let me tell you. There was Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. Then Iraq was replaced with Chad. None of them have directly attacked Americans in any way, except for Iraq. Except for Iraq, because the Gulf War and Afghanistan wasn't even included, but it wasn't even implied. They just didn't write it down. They were the ones with the 9/11 attacks, but the United States has been linked to a few attacks that have taken place in Libya. A few attacks in Libya that have not directly involved us, but have ended up hurting Americans. Somalia, there have been some international affairs over there that threatened people there. Syria has just existed. The U.S. forces were, concerned about Syrian civil war, but it didn't really do anything. And Yemen has been the site of several U.S. counter-terrorism measures, specifically Al-Qaeda. But that was all Obama's thing. North Korea has never attacked Americans, but they have threatened us plenty of times in the past. They were not. Why did they give? I don't even know why they included North Korea in there. North Korea was not even involved in the travel ban. Never mind. North Korea literally was not involved in the travel ban. I do not know why I wrote that down. I don't freaking know who to vote. Carter, I don't think you can vote, but if you could, this person, the zero tolerance immigration policy, the crackdown on immigration that causes separations of literally thousands of families at the Mexico border. And I'm not exaggerating. Thousands of families. Everybody in the entire country was freaking out because there were thousands of kids in cages, being starved, dying, who couldn't see their family. And somehow people just forget about that. People literally just forget about that. The psychological trauma that happens when you throw a kid in a cage and say you can't eat. No, you're not allowed to go anywhere. You can't even see your parents. Somehow people just forgot about that. The widespread protests are the reason that was reversed, and it wasn't even completely reversed. Biden was the one who had to come in and completely get rid of it. Response to the COVID-19 pandemic ruined everything. It ruined everything. My friends, I don't even know where to start. The COVID-19 pandemic, the response, is part of many, many reasons that our prices are so high. This is the only part of this video that's actually going to be important to anybody. Because the high prices that we have today are influenced by key factors that happened during Trump's presidency. The COVID-19 impacted everything. Supply chains. They impacted ports. They impacted the labor market because everybody had to distance themselves. Everybody had to shut down and stay home. That means all of these goods, they couldn't get to the places they needed to go. The factories were shutting down. They couldn't actually make anything. The labor markets, they weren't getting packed. That means we had nobody to actually do these labors except for essential workers. Like me, I was actually working during the COVID-19 pandemic, and then I went into the military after I graduated. So, I guess you can call me an essential worker, but these labor market strains are the reason that right now we are still suffering high prices. The increased demand for everything post-COVID didn't help either, because demand surged and outpacking supply, pushing prices further up in order to get that money back that they lost during the COVID-19 pandemic is the reason why consumer goods are so high. The tensions like the Russia and Ukraine conflicts, I've already told you this. The tariffs that we put on Russia's oil are the reason that we are drilling our own oil and the reason why the prices went so high. They're going down now. But the reason that they were so high to begin with is because of Russia and Ukraine. And who supported Russia, their dictator, and that same dictator's attempts to colonize Ukraine? Of course, Donald Trump did. Who was the one who botched the COVID-19 response that led to all the screwing up of America's economy? Donald Trump did. The recession, the high unemployment, the suffering all across the United States that led to us needing stimulus checks that the Republicans blocked, even though Donald Trump himself actually wanted to pass them. The Republicans wouldn't let them. They tried 3 separate times. 3 different times. And those were pushed away. They got 2 of them out. They got the first one, and they got another one but that was after Biden had already entered, so it doesn't really count. But I digress. The global inflation response to economic disruptions that I just went over. They are all a part of us, okay? These rate hikes for mortgages, loans, borrowing costs of businesses, that affects us. The oil and energy prices that were affected by the supply disruptions were inherently volatile because Trump was the one who increased the production of oil by slashing the climate change bills. Okay? There's a lot. And that fed into overall inflation because we weren't able to drill oil. We were able to drill oil, but not very well. Not enough to justify it being cheap. Right. Actually, no. No, I was going to say let me stop, but no, I got one more thing to rant about. The climate. You guys think the climate isn't affecting anything? We've had 2 hurricanes in the last month. Droughts, storms, and wildfires have affected agriculture. Blood, sweat, and tears goes into every single bit of food you get from the grocery store. And 50% of the food that we even get in America is thrown away. All those things together, along with the fact that our farmers have to work harder to adjust for the climate change that Donald Trump, during his presidency, slashed significantly, is the reason why increased production costs affect our markets. What do all the things that I said relate to Donald Trump? All of them. Literally every single one. People don't understand that when a new administration comes in and inherits an economy, they have to deal with the results of the last economy. The reason Donald Trump's economy was so great was because Obama's was improving for 6 straight years, and people just forget about that. Those stupid tax cuts that he implemented increased our deficit, our national debt, by $3 trillion. And then COVID came around and he screwed up the whole economy. That's $3 billion more debt on the U.S., leaving us in another recession. And people say, "Oh, I want to vote for Trump because of the economy." The economy was ruined. What are you talking about, bro? I understand political illiteracy because sometimes I'm too lazy to just look stuff up too. Sometimes I have to ask people to just, hey, tell me what this is, because I don't actually care enough to look into it. But if you don't know why our economy is suffering, and you think that an administration that already ruined it once is going to help it the second time around, bro, I just believe you're insane. I gotta just believe you're insane. That's it. I gotta just believe that you're insane. Because I can't say anything else. The Paris Climate Agreement, he withdrawed from that. He slashed hundreds of climate policies. And then the droughts, the tornadoes, the famines that came after that affecting our agriculture are the reasons that our produce is going up. And these people are like, let's get Trump back in the office to save the economy. That's not how that works. He inherited a good economy and still screwed it up. Why would he not do the same thing again? He has literally sat on that stupid stage and promised that he was going to put tariffs on the goods sent from China and Japan. Was it just China? It might have just been China. Either way, China is our biggest trade partner. Most of the things that we sell, not most, I'll say about half of the things that we sell in our stores come from them. I don't want to say anything inaccurate. That's why I'm lowballing it. But if the tariffs on the oil caused our oil prices to go up nearly 2 times, then what do you think happens? What do you think is going to happen if he puts tariffs on the biggest trading partner we have in the whole world? That's every single product. Prices sky high. Over 200%. Just up. It's up, then it's stuck. Cardi B. Global leadership retreat. He retreated the U.S. on environmental issues, and now we're in a state where the weather is literally destroying us. If Florida sinks into the ocean tomorrow, I will not even be surprised. They've already been hit with 2 hurricanes. The promotion of misinformation everywhere. This man told almost 1,000 lies during his presidency, and they were wrote down and put into a list. They were written down and put into a list. I kid you not. It's terrible. And the thing about it, he was already impeached for his solicitation of foreign interference in the 2020 election. And people harp on that and say that it is in any way comparable to trying to overthrow the government. It does not. It does not compare. You know why it doesn't compare to him trying to overthrow the government? Because the FBI and the CIA both confirmed that there were Russian bots sending out misinformation for Trump in the 2020 election period. And people just forget about that. It's like, Democrats, you guys didn't accept the election results either because you cheated. I don't even care if the bots helped or not. Hillary won the popular vote. Even if those bots not existing would not have helped, the fact that there was still foreign interference in the 2020 election helping him does not change. And he solicited it by going to Putin and allowing it to happen. Well, can I say that he went directly to Putin? Of course not. I can't say that. I don't know. But he was already impeached for it. He was already impeached for it, and people's trying to act like that didn't freaking happen. But it did. So what are you going to do about it? You're just going to put him back inside of the election saying, these elections are fake. Even though you guys literally cheated and then you got mad and then you tried to overthrow the country when it didn't work the second time? I don't understand. And I know somebody's going to point out the fact that that when I pulled up my name, I was red. Yes, it was red. It was very red because they claim that I'm in the Republican Party, which is fine. I don't care that they think I'm in the Republican Party. You know why? Because in Illinois, the Democrats are mainly our problem. So, oh well. I know what you're thinking. Barack Obama came from Illinois, and he was a great politician. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but they're few and far between. Our system likes to protect incumbents even after they've gotten too old to actually perform. They believe that they are doing more than they actually are. They are focusing only during election years when they might actually be challenged. They've become complacent. Illinois politicians are corrupt. They are complacent. They are extremely corporate. But they are still Democrats, so they promise to focus on equity. They promise on focusing on reducing homelessness and other things, but then they don't actually allocate the money that's required to do that. I'll give it to our governor. He actually has a budget plan that will defer our funds into the state in a way that is less risky. It has been approved by economists. It is actually pretty well, but it's actually pretty well made. But me giving him that one win does not change the fact that Democrats in Illinois suck hard. So I'm happy to be a Republican here. If anything, I might just stay that way. But when it comes to the rest of the country, this is ridiculous. I've already gone into all the women that he's assaulted, all the women that he's harassed, cheating on his wife with a porn star. That's having 5 kids by 3 baby mamas, all of the felonies, and all the crimes he got away with. That's another thing. All because he's white and rich. That's it. That's the reason why even after his controversial rhetoric, even after he's literally said in the last 2 days that he's okay with reporters being shot, threatening other politicians who don't agree with them, calling them fake news, getting people to make racist jokes on stage. That's why, after his words inciting violence, after sending the National Guard to quell protesters, after ruining the entire economy, after continuously saying that he didn't lose the election, and then flip-flopping at the very end, after his existence increasing hate crimes by 300%, after him bragging about dismantling the environment, which now leads us to a place where Florida is just getting DP'd, after supporting Brett Kavanaugh, another rapist. Why wouldn't he support another rapist? A rapist support rapists. After drastically reducing the tax rate, after increasing our frigging financial deficit by 7 billion%. 7 billion%! 7 billion%! After shifting away from our actual allies and giving us an isolationist stance, making us look bad in front of the rest of the entire world, after all of this criminal, this silver spoon-fed, no accountability having man who feels he's entitled to everything that America has to offer, one of the greatest countries in the world, he thinks he's entitled to be the face of it just because he's rich and white. That's the reason why this is the worst election in history. Because Kamala Harris is the most qualified candidate for president that we've had in how long? Let me, hold on. I actually want to see. See, Joe Biden, I guess you can say that he was as qualified since he was a politician for 50 years. Lyndon B. Johnson, he had a Senate Majority Leader. Bush had a bunch of high-level roles. Meanwhile, Harris was a lawyer. She was an attorney. And the Attorney General, for God's sake, in one of the most volatile states in the world, and a legislator, and the vice president, the only presidential candidate in history who served in all three branches of government, who's literally come from nothing, poor immigrant parents, who is the representation of the American dream, and the only reason that she has the opportunity to win is because she's going against a white criminal. That's the only reason. 600 Republicans say, this is not what the Republican Party stands for. I gotta go up there and tell them 600 elected officials that are Republicans, plus, I think it's at 700 now, are all uniting and backing her because the only reason that she even has a chance is because he's a white rich man. There is no logical, policy-based, or even societal reason that Donald Trump should even be here, but he is still able to run for president because he's a rich white man. It is literally unity versus hatred, and that's why this is the worst election in history. We've got the most qualified candidate for president ever. You think I'm crazy, but no. All three branches of government. She's improved healthcare. She's improved education. She's improved the justice system. She's even promoted these bills to help our immigration policy improve and be more restrictive, but also more lenient to people who need that help. She's way more qualified than any of these people. And she's fighting against a literal criminal, and it's still close. That's why this is the worst election in history. The worst election in history. No doubt. It's not even close. It's not even close. I don't even know how many people are even going to see this, but I don't care. Eventually, I'm going to be a politician, and I'm going to make sure people have trust in the government. Because if the cheese, as Lady G calls him, has single-handedly created a world, a country in which people believe that common sense, that actual accredited organizations, that real facts, medical and political facts are rhetoric just because this guy calls them fake news. That's the kind of world we live in. That's the kind of world we live in, where one person can turn 25 to 33% of the country into non-believers of common sense. It doesn't mean they're dumb. People like to think that Trump supporters are dumb. They are not. They are not stupid. You do not have to be stupid to be affected by harsh propaganda. You do not have to be stupid to be delusional. There are very intelligent Trump supporters, but they have that cognitive dissonance that makes them think that somehow this person who's already destroyed the economy, who's already destroyed the reputation of America and of his self, is somehow going to help us. I don't understand it. It's delusion. It's literally delusion. And that's why we're here. If it was anybody else up against that stage, Kamala Harris wouldn't win. She wouldn't have a chance. Why? Because America doesn't respect black women. That's the only reason that men don't want to vote for her. Because she's a woman. That's it. You can present all the facts in the world to a Trump supporter, and they're still going to say, oh, but there's this nuance, you see. There's this something, there's this or that makes me not want to change my mind. It's just talk. It's just rhetoric. They're not going to change their mind because they don't want to vote for a woman, and they are not accepting that fact. Be a man. Just say you don't want to vote for a woman, and own it. If you say that, I will literally not care. I will not berate you. I will not be offended. I will not think any less of you if you just own that crap, but don't try to act like there's any logic involved. Well, man, let me look at this stupid elections list. Because all the red states should be in by now. It's literally just seeing where the swing states go. The swing states are the only ones that actually matter, because the red states are going to be red. Oklahoma is red. That's surprising. That's very surprising, actually. No, the welfare states are red. That makes sense. Georgia is red, or leaning red. You guys see this? Yeah, you guys can see this. Maine is Stop joking. Maine is not going red. Virginia is going to be blue. I guarantee it. Who am I voting for? Mate, I voted a while ago. My state has early voting. I voted back during October. And yes, I obviously voted for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, the people with the overwhelmingly good record and actually benevolent plans for America. I'm voting for that $25,000 grant for small businesses. I'm voting for that $10,000 student loan relief. I'm voting for that $6,000 child tax credit instead of the tariffs that are going to drive up the prices for every single good in our country. It's all just cognitive dissonance. It's all nonsense. And that's why I hate the concept of this election. I just thought that I have to talk about it. I have to talk about it. And I'm going to talk about it. I just didn't want to talk about it early because I didn't want to try and sway anybody's votes. Of course I'm not going to try and sway anybody's votes. I'm not going to try and convince anybody not to vote this way or that way, because that's not what I want to do. I want to tell the people who already voted why they are wrong. But I digress. Jill Stein is pretty cool too. Her stance on Gaza is much more preferable, but I'm sorry to my Green Party people. I gotta stay in the States. Kamala Harris is the best choice for just maintaining the States. And if you're wondering who Jill Stein is, she is the Green Party candidate. Look at her. Got her 200,000 votes. Heck yeah. Good stuff, Jill. Oh, frick. I'm in the way. I'm in the way. Hold on, you can't even see her. Dang it, you didn't see it. Look at Jill Stein down there. Look at her. Yeah! Green Party! And the others have twice that. Well, dang. I'm sorry, Jill. You tried. I'm sorry, Jill. You tried. But... Oh, yeah, of course Texas and Florida are red. Why would they not be? They're Texas and dang Florida. You're not gonna flip Texas, bro. Florida has not been blue in, like, 8 years. And it ain't gonna be blue anymore. Because Ron DeSantis is literally bussing all of the minorities out and just bringing in rich people. And okay, that's fine. Good for him. Good for him. Good for him. Let me see. I need to figure out when these cats are actually going to put in their votes. Because some of these states are expected to finish their breakdown by 9 o'clock. And 9 o'clock is only 30 minutes away. I've already explained everything that I could explain. You guys have any questions? Do you guys have any questions? You few people in here, do you guys have any questions about this race that I can tell you about these candidates or anything? Because I guarantee I can answer it pretty quickly. I may be a slow speaker when it comes to these topics, especially when I'm just lost in the concept. But I know my stuff, okay? That's the difference between an educated, open-minded voter who votes for the most qualified candidate ever over the literal criminals. Like, it's not even... This election makes me laugh. You guys want me to watch something while we're waiting for 9 o'clock? While we're waiting for more of these states to turn in their votes? You guys want me to watch something? Kill some time? I'm surprised that Missouri is not red too, but I believe that it will be. I believe that it very much will be. Because there's never been a time when Missouri has not been red. It's a welfare state too, and all these little welfare states, they always vote. They always vote red. Look at that. Look at that. West Virginia, 70%? My God. Wyoming? What the fr... Wait! What do you mean? There's nobody there. So nobody won? Why did Wyoming already call it if no vote? Who voted? Did nobody... Wait, did you see that? Wait, did you... Guys, look. Nobody voted. Why is it red? What's happening? Oh, I just went on a huge fact-based rant over this idiotic election. And now I'm deciding if I want to just watch something so I can throw it in as videos later. Why is Wyoming... Wyoming has no votes, and they already chose Donald Trump. What the... Is that even legal? Is that even legal? Has Wyoming even voted? Has Wyoming even voted? There's nothing there. Why is there not... Can a state call a Jesus Christ. Why is Wyoming... News media don't run elections. Why do they call the win... Oh, AP... Oh, okay. No, I get it now. AP has already put Wyoming as red. Because Wyoming always goes red. Okay, now I get it. They don't need to wait for them to actually put in the vote. This is very much a rant stream. At least I think it is. I might condense it into an actual video with more concise information, but I might also just leave it like this and see if people actually watch it. Bro, AP, why the heck would you do Wyoming like that? There's hope. No, there's not. Wyoming will never vote blue. I don't know why I said there's hope. There's no hope that Wyoming would ever vote blue. So even if they haven't voted absolutely, they are red, without question. All right, hold on. We want paper puppets? We'll get paper puppets. Let's go. If you want it, then you will have it.
And then that maniac ran over bubble wrap.
Oh, well, at least you weren't with Journal.
Yep, I've watched this one.
That's what I thought. But lately he's been acting so...
Pow! You're right. You are right. Moogie would not be... Why? Moogie would not be a... Why should Penn rot? You know what? Fine. You're right, watching object shows would make this a weird stream. So instead, we're gonna look up crap about these two. Let's look up some crap about these two. Let's do this. Political object show review. Let's do this. Kamala Harris greatest hits. What? If men don't vote Harris, screw you, Fox. Literally, what has... Here. Let's do this. Let's figure out more reasons that this woman is more qualified than anybody that we've had ever run for president. Let's do it. Skyrocketed, obviously. She has been outraising by a lot. A lot. Harris made history again. Enough delegates to become... Yep. Duh. That's... Give me an actual achievement, please. Ooh. Delicious. Give me an actual achievement. Okay, shut up. There we go. There we go. She visited that's not an achievement. Feel a very strong sense due to elevate and give voice. Actually, you know what? If going places and talking to people is an achievement, then we gotta talk about her interview with Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike is a popular YouTube doctor who weighs in on detrimental medical views or medical ideologies that are circulating around social media, and then he either debunks them or supports them. She had an interview with Dr. Mike on YouTube. I can actually pull it up real quick. You know what? Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's get the little one. Little one done.
Food diet has been rather tricky due to pricing, due to food deserts, and I see young children over-consuming ultra-processed foods, like Lunchly as a prime example that's gone viral on social media. And as a result, we're seeing record rates of obesity that are setting them up for
41%
worse health outcomes down
of
the line.
adults
Are there
in
any
America
plans to
obese
perhaps
as
bring
heck.
down prices of these Whole Foods, groceries, making sure that they're widely available, even in areas where there may not be right now?
One area of focus for me is without any question. In fact, it's my highest priority is bringing down the cost of living, period, which includes the cost of groceries.
Do you see a role for any of the federal or state or local programs to create a program to fund healthy foods as medicine? Do you see that as a potential priority in your health
Please,
policy?
for
I
God's
think that
sake,
it is critically important
please.
that we, to your point, see the direct connection between a healthy diet and health outcomes. And at this point, I think it should not be debated by anyone. I hope it is not. It is about then dealing with the problem because we know the solution.
Mm-hmm. See? And that's what I was talking about. If going to places and talking to people is an accomplishment, then going to an actual doctor is a huge accomplishment. Because this is idiotic. This is so idiotic. I don't know why I'm still on YouTube. Hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna talk. RFK wants to remove the fluoride from our water. And Trump says that RFK Jr. will be over health administrations. I did not know that. Yeah. Trump says that if he'll get elected, he's going to elect his supporters, RFK, and Elon Musk, as significant members of the government, especially in health and technology. The anti-vaccine activist wants... Oh my lord. Guys, it's not an accomplishment at all. You guys, I keep forgetting people don't understand what fluoride does. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let this do it. If we were to take the fluoride out of water, UK already did this. And their prevalence of cavities in their children and tooth decay increased by 70%. UK took fluoride out of water temporarily, and the tooth decay of their children went up by 70%. 70. I meant 50%. No, it was 70%. Yeah, I was right the first time. And this man says that he wants to remove fluoride from public water, ruining our health. In a country where the government-given healthcare system does not provide dental care. Moogie, what do you mean, what is fluoride? It's an element, for God's sake. I know you know what fluoride is because you know what the periodic table is, Moogie. I can't even read these things. Fluoride is indeed a naturally... You know what? Conversation, let them know. Yep. It's a naturally occurring element inside of rocks that simply helps our teeth work. It helps our teeth... No, it doesn't. But it helps our teeth stay healthy and usable. That's why every single time that you go to the dentist, they put fluoride on your teeth. Well, they let a rooftop sniping happen to Trump once. The second assassination attempt was some guy inside of his own golfing course, yes, inside of his golf course, who was tiptoeing in his Jordans and hiding behind bushes. And then he pointed the gun at him, his little sniper, through the bush. One of the Secret Service members said, "Hey, look at that barrel sticking out of the bush." And then they started shooting at him. Then he ran away. And then they arrested him. Fluoridated water does work very, very well. Very, very well. And it does not cause anything. Anything. That's actually negative. Fluoridated water does nothing negative to our bodies. There are a lot of things that do nothing negative to our bodies. See, Kamala Harris, I don't know if you see the way that she moves, the way that her family is nice and healthy and stable, as opposed to Donald Trump, who is going insane. Literally.
Has anyone ever seen The Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner.
That was Republican frontrunner and convicted felon Donald Trump last month, offering his thoughts on a cool new movie.
Yeah. There's a lot.
If he is reelected, one options are being concerned about.
But if I'm sitting down and that boat's going down and I'm on top of a battery and the water starts flooding in, I'm getting concerned. But then I look 10 yards to my left and there's a shark over there. So I have a choice of electrocution or shark. You know what I'm going to take? Electrocution. I will take electrocution every single time. Let's listen to Pavarotti sing Ave Maria. Can you hear that?
Oh God, no, not this one. This man literally spent 39 minutes dancing on stage in one of his rallies, bro. And people try to say, and the media does not want to say that he's insane. The mainstream media, NBC, literally 39 minutes, and he said nothing.
Mr. Trump has dismissed any speculation topics.
That's 39 minutes, guys. Oh my God. He was literally bashing Biden because he stutters chronically. Biden has a chronic stutter that he had to go to speech therapy to fix. So he has an excuse to not being able to talk.
Well, I want to start Detroit.
Mess on your hands. Going to be like, you want the whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You're going to have a mess on your hands.
No.
And yet there's no way. No way. Give it to me. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Sorry about that, but shut up. No, seriously. No. Let me listen to it. Go.
The other day.
Where is the video?
And you like to see this.
Trump and President Biden, Democrats are pointing out Trump is now the oldest of the two candidates by nearly 2 decades this time around, and voters may be focused on his age and mental acuity. Last week, he gave a rambling response to a question about child care policy, and it's not the first time.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, all that.
Let's listen to some of what he said on the campaign trail recently.
The late, great Hannibal Lecter.
I already saw that one. Go away.
Every single time. I'm not getting near the shark. So we're going to end that. We're
Again?
We're going to end it for trucks. You can do it, baby. I love you so much. And it's bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I didn't do a poem. Didn't do it. Ding, 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 ding. They've only got 17 seconds to figure this whole thing out, right? Boom. Okay. Missile launch. Pshin, boom.
Bashim, boom. Bing, 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 bing. Pushin, boom. Okay, so listen.
Keep it going. I want to see more.
It's on to analyze, as we have been doing. They
Hush. Ay, 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 ay.
Well, it is.
Nope. I did not come to hear you talk. I heard to hear this guy. I heard to hear this guy.
8-year-old Donald Trump leadership side with the now 60-year-old Kamala Harris replacing him as the Democratic nominee. Now, with Biden no longer in the race, we have Kamala Harris facing the steady decline from 2016 until 2024.
Where is the science?
His performance declined 6% from 16 to 20. That's about 1.4%. Kamala Harris.
Is he finally going to bring it up?
From Saudi, Trump's having called it a scam, and now.
Actually, nah. Screw the crypto scam. I don't actually care about the crypto scam. How many grifts has Trump started since campaigning? Do I not know how to spell camp? There we go. Okay, I guess we're fact checking. China abandoned Mexico car plant because of him. No. No. Go away. Stupid ads. There's no evidence. Raise everybody's taxes. Nope. Harris has said expressly. Oh, I can't. I'm not. Lady, how am I going to sway people? Everybody already voted. I don't care. I'm telling people why they're wrong. And whether people listen, it doesn't really matter. Harris will not increase taxes on those earning $400,000 for... Yeah. I've gotten so used to my own gaffes that I'm literally correcting nothing. $1 million a year would see investment earnings tax the same as regular income, which is wonderful. Corporate tax 28, 21 to 28. Lisp, not so he just insulted somebody again. 100. So he's still lying about the ideas that his rallies are exorbitant, that they're crazy, that they're huge. 90% membership rates. No. I do not know why they keep talking about friggin' Springfield, Ohio. That's already... It didn't even need to be fact checked. That was a stupid Facebook post that they inflated for no reason. Inflation costing families $30,000? Excuse me, what? White House fraudulently claimed... No. That's a part of estimate recalculate. They're gonna blast that number out of the water, bro. Biden's economy has done great when it comes to jobs. There's no way we're not gonna reach that number. We're gonna excel over it. Excel over it. Maybe am I getting tired? Yes, I am. We're going to, what's the word I'm looking for? No, I can't even say. We are going to destroy it. I'll just say that instead. No, manufacturing jobs have frickin' they have significantly gone up throughout the entire presidency Oh, the start of the year. Okay, that's what they meant. Yeah, since the start of the year. Because the strike... Hey, but Biden actually handled that too. He went over there and made a deal with those strikers that were dealing with the ports. And their strike for the shipping union would have literally affected every aspect of America. So I'm glad they did. Every single one. 150 Americans, unemployment rolls... No. Not it. The number was correct, but the stat was not. The actual estimate of it was an exaggeration, okay? And that's just a friggin' lie. No. I'm trying to find things to do for these last 9 minutes, guys. I literally just want to kill 9 more minutes so I can see this election board change. Because as soon as 9 o'clock hits, it's going to change a little bit more. That's all I want to see. I just want to see it change. Refresh results. What did he gain? Oh, he gained Nebraska. Well, duh. Excuse me, what? Oh, that's freaking bull crap. Nebraska, what do you mean? So Kamala Harris won. Then he won more votes in Nebraska, but Nebraska is still red. Okay. Okay. 41.5% expected vote. We'll see about that. I still don't believe Oklahoma switched to red. That's insane. What does she actually need to win? She needs the blue wall. Iowa's still blue. That's insane. That's what she needs. She needs the blue wall. Nah. Do not say that. For some reason, I've forgotten which state she actually needs to cinch this election. You're kidding me. All of the solidly blue states are going to give her 130, 134. Michigan and Wisconsin. Pennsylvania. Is Arizona even started yet? I don't know about Arizona. NC, North Carolina. Nah, she couldn't possibly get Florida. This is U.S. House Foster one. Zell, Minnesota. Or no, that's Mississippi. I'm stupid. Of course a Democrat won in Illinois. Why wouldn't they? Wisconsin. T-Rump got Missouri. I told you guys Missouri wasn't flipping. Missouri doesn't flip. Another Harris, and she's a Republican, and that's a Republican. Alright, hold on. Of course Trump would win Florida. Okay, Newsweek. This was 5 days ago. If we lose any of these states, then it's over. Then it's over. Okay? So, the clearest path to victory: Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. So I was right. Those are the ones. No, I thought I was wrong. No, we're exactly where we need to be. Because that's what she needs. Along with all the states that already favor her, she needs Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Iowa's still blue. Missouri switched to blue again? No, they didn't. Stop lying to me. Yeah. Brixton. Got the states that already favor her. We need these three. They are completely tied. If she gets those three, then we'll be Gucci. We will be Gucci. The people who win those 3 states, those will be the ones that matter most. We've got 3 minutes, guys. We'll see 3 minutes who is flipped and who's not, and then I'm going to end the live. Okay. So they think Trump is going to pull a 2016 again and get the Electoral College vote. Bless you. I don't know. See, if she gets this blue wall, then even though most of these states are jumping out of the way, that blue wall almost guarantees the win. I'm telling you. That's all she needs to keep the blue wall alive, and everything else kind of just falls into place. Because California, duh. Is my Discord server still alive? I don't know. I don't even go there anymore. She'll have the 54, and then she'll have the 12 from Washington. Montana, no. Idaho, no. Utah, hope. Arizona, maybe, but I wouldn't count on it. She's got it. Are these 99 along with? Let's see, are the 99 with these or without? 31, 42, 49, 54, 68, 87. Okay, so that 99 is without the light blue states. Got it. I'm sorry to hear that, Twin Meal. I hope things get better. See, as soon as she gets California and Washington, she'll be up to 165. She gets Michigan. That'll be 15. That'll be a solid 180. If she gets Pennsylvania, that's 199. New Hampshire, 203. There's no way Maine's gonna flip. When does Maine do that? Maine does flip sometimes. Iowa. No, screw Iowa. Colorado's solidly blue. Even then, that only brings it to 219. And Alaska never goes red. Georgia's dying. North Carolina's dying. Virginia. Okay, Virginia's usually blue. Even with all these, she's still only up to 232. 9 o'clock. Let's refresh this. Bam! It did not change a thing. Nothing changed. The Dakota's just locked in. Ay, ay, ay. Well, guys, I guess that means I better just jump off. I was hoping that something drastic would happen, but if I stay up all night waiting for this thing to end, I won't be able to wake up tomorrow morning. I mean, I will, but it'll suck. Oh well. Guys, this is going to be my new anthem. I'm releasing it sometime this week. If you're wondering whose voice that was, that is... Don't ask. Thanks, DJ. Don't worry, I'm getting off. Yeah, I gotta jump out of here. Come on, don't lag on me. We are not doomed, my friends. We've got 3 more hours. Calm down. You guys have a great week. Be great. Keep your eyes on the prize. Don't be like these modern adults. These modern adults are voting for crazy people. You guys gotta be educated so we can do better in the future. So we don't go back. Okay? Because it's gonna matter later. It's not just a now thing. I digress. You are loved, you're appreciated, you're gonna do amazing things, and I am out of here. Delta Lumina out. Peace.